Hello everybody, Geraldine Rose here. Oh my chicken, this one threw me for a loop. Epic fail. Well everybody, the backstory. Jen Raza from the Alt New Leadership team, she's back from maternity leave and she's been back for a few weeks. On Tuesday, she sets us a new challenge. So we use the hashtag AltNewChallenge Live. And this last week, it was to complete a card in 20 minutes. So of course, I piped up, well, I'm mixed media. My layers don't even dry in 20 minutes. She said to try it anyway. So I did, and I failed. Looking back, I think I might have almost gotten it if I hadn't been so fussy about drying and cleaning between every single layer and then taking the stencil to the sink and washing it and washing off my palette knife and taking my time setting the dies in the stencils in place so that they were perfect. Definitely slowed me down. On the other hand, my heart was thumping and I was like, you have to keep going on this. You have to keep going. And I was trying to figure out how to do the timer. I've actually never used the timer on my iPad. So I kept having to tap it to get it to show up on the screen again. And it was about this point at this 3-minute mark that I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so not making this. And I wanted to quit. I was like, that's it. I'm giving up. Like, no, you have to see how much you can get done. Because Jen says for all these challenges, even if you don't complete it, put up what you've got, right? At this point, I just watched the timer tick down. 3, 2, 1. I took a photo to show how far I'd gotten along and went, meh, I'm close enough. Maybe I should finish it. It doesn't look crazy bad. So I'd hit set up the inside of the card. I did the flower in one of the lightest pinks that I've got so that you could write over top of it. The sentiments, I'm doing my typical ombre where, you know me, I like having a mix of colors in there. So this one ended up being blue into a purple ombre. And there's one of my 7 custom stamps on the back that I do not regret getting at all. While the 3 pastes on the front panel were still drying, and I could tell they were still drying because I could smell them. The Alt New one, it's kind of like when you're painting and you've got that fresh plaster smell. So it's up there at the top, minding its own business. And I'm working on the sentiment banner. I'm putting a little bit of purple on the outer edges so it looks like that portion of the banner is set back a little bit farther. And it turned out really okay at first. And then you'll see later that I just had to keep pushing it. Me being me, right? Oh, I could do this. I could do this. I've got all the time in the world now. The challenge is off. I failed. I can just take my sweet time on the rest of it. And that's when I started noticing, oh, you forgot to do the yellow for the inside of the flowers. And, oh, you forgot the second shade of green on there. And you'll notice through this all that I keep switching between inks. I have the complete set of the oxides, not complete set of 2 different brands of the inks. We're going to have to do a little fussy cutting here on the banner. I thought I had the die for that, one that would work with it. Apparently I don't. Oh well, we went old school on that one. The acrylic block is off of the back panel now too. It had started to curl as it was drying and I was just weighting it down to flatten it out a bit. Now that I've got less chance of smearing the paste, I am deepening up the corners with whatever ink is left on the blending brush. Just a little bit of purple through the corners. I haven't taken these out in a long time. The Kurtaki Gansai Tombi, these are the gem colors. I thought it needed more splatter. And these are metallic. And I had the pink, and I had the blue, and I had the purple. It's going to be covered up, but hey, I know it's there. If you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So here's the mica splatter on top of the rose peonies. Because it's pretty. I like it. So, okay, good. Let's put some water splatters on there. So flick your droplets and then get out a cleanish paper towel and mop it up. You will get some really nice effects. If you look a little bit further back, you'll see that I had 3 twines sitting out. A purple one, a blue one, and a pink one. I chose the medium purple one because there's enough blue through the panel and there's enough pink with the flowers and the purple one just seemed to go. So wrapped it around, used my reverse tweezers, got my bow kind of set up and then tightened it up when I felt that it was ready. Now, the thing to remember about twine is you're going to need a channel, otherwise you're going to end up with a bulge on your card. Here's where I'm putting in the foam tape on the back. I'll set it to either side of that so that it gives room for that twine to pass underneath. Pulling the backing off. The other good thing about putting the foam on this too is because that panel has been embossed and has had the paste on it and has had ink smooshing on it, it is a little bit warped, and that foam will help to actually straighten it out a little bit and set it down all the way across your card base. It's time to put the flower on top, and I had cut in between the leaves so that I could pull the bow through the front. Now, you tell me there isn't always going to be a little zhuzhing that goes on. So I'm zhuzhing the bow there before I put little dabs of glue underneath it to set it in so that it doesn't loosen off. I do the same thing on the ends here so that they don't unravel. Brilliant idea of let's just put a rolling object underneath it so that the little wet ends don't actually touch the card panel. Because the Happy Easter banner wasn't standing out enough against the same pink of the rose peonies behind it, I got out the Kuretake Gold mica ink and I painted a gold edging around it the way that a lot of ribbon has. In the back of my mind, it's percolating that front has got an awful lot of color on it, and the inside, it's pretty, but it's a little washed out. The solution might be to get out my alcohol markers and just color in the lightest shades that I've got, in the pinks and the yellows and the greens, to add a spot of color on that inside as well too. I gently brushed a little bit of color in there so it looks a little better now. Thank goodness the foam tape we're using is quite thin. We've got foam on that back panel to unwarp it and keep it flat. We've got foam behind the flower to stabilize it, and I put foam behind that Easter banner as well too. These are Memory Box Fairy Drops, the nice clear ones. I thought they would look like dewdrops on the leaves and the petals of the flower. If I would have used enamel dots or ombre drops, I would have probably gone for a darker blue or a purple and put them on the back panel to get them to stand out. Here's where I sent the Happy Easter banner down a wrong path. As it had dried, the inks had smoothed out and they had kind of blended into the letters. I thought putting the glitter gloss, the shimmer pen over top of it might help, but it didn't. So then I got out the Ranger Glossy Accents and put those over top, and that really messed it up. So I ended up taking one of my white gel pens and just re-lettering the Happy Easter, and then that kind of stood it out over top. So I sent it a wrong way, but we ended up saving it in the end. Well, that's going to be the finished card. Now, I've got a request for you guys. I always go on about, hey, we've got to be that change we want to see in the world. 86% of you watch, but don't like or subscribe. That'd be really nice, actually, if you could do that for me, please. It doesn't cost you anything, and it would really help me out at this stage in the game. Be that change you want to see in the world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.